So we might actually, thanks very much indeed. I know it's been a long day, but you have to understand it's, well, they're boxing, they're making a lot of sacrifices. It's terrific for them to be up here on the table doing a bit of talking. We might actually do head-to-heads here, which would be fantastic if we can get them nose to nose. I love that. That's all the funny stuff. That's when it becomes entertaining. So the way I've got it matched here is Ryan here is going to be fighting Carl here. They're both having a debut. Kieran, what did I say about Kieran? Is going to be fighting Jake there. That's another debut contest. And then at the end, Matt is going to be fighting at the end Brad. So obviously, all of you here, or most of you here, seem to know people that are up on the top table. So make plenty of noise for them. I've got no problem with people screaming and shouting at them and or their opponents. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to start with you, if I can, Ryan. Do you know anything about Carl? Have you had one of those training, sparring sessions with him? Do you know anything about him?
No, just met him first time today.
And did you meet him? Did you go over and have a chat with him?
Yeah, I had a chat with him, yeah.
How was he?
Nice guy.
Really?
Oh,
Carl.
I am.
Carl, I'll ask you in a second, Ryan, but Carl, what made you, and I mean this nicely, what made you decide at whatever age you are, because you're not 21.
No, I ain't.
You know,
far from it, mate.
Easy, boys. There's no need for that, Shane. So what made you decide that you'd give this? I know you're with a group over there that have all done the same thing, you know. And by the way, that's a right. I love that group over there. By the way, I might be having a proper night with the Silvers later on. I can just sense it, you know.
A party bunch.
They are a party bunch, aren't they? Yeah. So what made you decide, Carl, that you fancy a bit of this white collar game?
Don't know. I had a lot of shit going through. Oh, sorry.
That's
my
right,
bad.
you're allowed to
I had
do
a lot
that.
of stuff going on, and I see my pal fight about 3 months ago.
Was that
Just
Shane?
Shane. Just give me the bug to do it, to be honest.
And
And it gets your mind out of other things, you know what I mean?
Has it sorted you out a little bit?
Yeah,
with the other
100%,
shit,
mate.
quote unquote?
2 months ago, I was in a bad place. To be honest, I'm in a good place now.
See, now we hear that and we read that all the time with Tyson Fury. You know, he says, I was 28 stone, I was depressed, I was suicidal, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, and boxing's become my addiction. Boxing's become my permanent rehab. That's on that scale. You see that in interviews that I do, and you see that, you listen to that on Radio 5. But here today in Hammersmith, by the Thames, all jokes aside, we've heard that same testimony about 15 times today. So I really wish on a day like this there was someone from the anti-boxing lobby in this room, because it's not me as a person that works in the industry or a professional boxer or a multi-millionaire promoter saying it does good. We've sat here with very ordinary, very normal people giving the same testimony that this can sort your head out.
It can, 100%.
And I'll tell you, Carl, absolutely brilliant. Kieran.
Hello.
Kieran, another Kieran. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Kieran, it's your debut as well.
It is indeed.
What made you decide one day, you know what, I've been doing this, I've got my fancy watch that tells me how many steps I've taken and how my heartbeat works and all that other cobblers, but I fancy a bit of the boxing, because there's no watch that can measure what happens inside your system when you get in a boxing gym.
Well, my friend, he can't be here today. He was supposed to bring me. He's at the Queensbury Trials. His name's Gary.
Hope he gets in. Yeah, good luck,
He's the one who took me boxing training. I haven't had the best ride in my life, and I thought, you know what, it helps me out. It keeps me out of trouble. It keeps me away from the bad people I used to hang around with.
And has it?
I've been doing boxing for 6 weeks, and in my first spar, I made someone retire. So
It's working.
it must be.
Yeah, top stuff.
Go on, Kieran, mate.
Jake, same question to you. I'll stick with the same question. I'm getting such fabulous answers. What made you decide, at whatever age you are, whatever you do for a living, and whatever sports you've done, to one day take the walk up the steps at the Clapham, wherever it is you train? What made you decide?
Well, honestly, I was medically discharged from the Army back in 2018 after serving 2 tours overseas for mental health reasons. So the last year has been quite difficult, but you know, I've got an amazing partner who's here today, and she's offered me so much support. And you know, I've found that doing this program, not only are you supporting a good cause, but it gives you a motivation, goal, and a direction to get up in the morning. And also, like some of the boys and the ladies as well that are at the gym, you form such a bond going through the training as well. And yeah, it just, you can see yourself progressing, you know, and seeing that development within yourself. You just want to keep going.
And one of the things with that darkness that people have is that motivation to get up, because generally people that can suffer like that, you do nothing. You know, one of the terrible effects is you stay in bed all day. You lack the motivation to do something. The darkness just self-perpetuates and gets worse. So you've had to battle that. You had to fight that. I'm assuming it's not been that easy. It's not been a simple, oh, I'll box today, my mental health issues have gone. It's a struggle.
Oh, it's with me every day. But, you know, you learn to adapt and overcome.
So can you understand when Tyson Fury talks about how he needs that gym? He needs to be in that gym.
Oh, 100%. 100%, because it's an outlet, but it's a positive outlet. You know, it's obviously not when you're in the ring, you're punching someone in the face, but when you're training and whatnot with your friends, it's fun, it's enjoyable, and it gets it out. So it's, yeah.
So right now, compared to when you were discharged, your life's in a much better place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. We're hearing some testimony today. You're allowed to clap because you don't hear shit like that every day of the week. Fucking hell. Fuck's sake. Whew. I tell you what, this is a right table here, isn't it? Hey, this is unbelievable, some of the stuff coming from this table and the previous table. Brad, down the end. How are you, son?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
So you're fighting Matt down the end. Brad and Matt. Do you know each other?
Yeah, we've had a 2-minute round, yeah.
And how was that?
That was fun, yeah. Enjoyed it.
Oh,
Could have gone for another 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's the obvious
Well,
question.
I won. He probably says that he won, but...
So you won it, Brad, in your mind, and you won it in your mind, Matt.
That's it.
Brad, it's a simple question I've been asking everyone here today, and I've been amazed and stunned and humbled by some of the fantastic answers. What was it, Brad, that made you... Just move that mic round a little bit so you're talking into it, that's it. What was it, Brad, that made you walk through the doors in the gym and give the boxing a crack?
I was just at work with my mate that went boxing, and I would just give it to Charlie Big Bollocks. And he dragged me down there. It turns out I didn't actually know how to throw a punch when I first went down there. So it was a bit of a reality check, and I enjoy it. Every time I go down there, you learn something new. It's good, it pushes you on.
And how's the work situation these days?
Yeah, it's all right.
You working?
Yeah.
It's all right. It's
Always.
not all right. It's good. You're working. It's good. Right, Matt. What made you, same thing, what made you walk through the doors? You know, whatever sport it was you could do, I could tell you're an athlete, you were doing whatever you were doing, and you suddenly said one day, bang, I'll have a go at that white collar. What was it?
It wasn't actually me who said it was my ex-girlfriend at the time. So she duped me into signing up to boxing.
When you got rid of her.
Yeah. She took my card and paid for it for me with my own card and told, oh, you're going to boxing next month and you're starting.
Is she gone for good?
She still goes to the same gym as me, to be fair.
Is that awkward?
I don't see her around that often because we're in a fight school, so we're doing different classes, so it's not too bad. But yeah, so she duped me into doing it, and then I just got hooked from there, really.
Have you still got... Shh, everyone, please, this is really getting emotional up here. You've still got a soft spot for her, man. What do you think? Is it, well, hands up if you've still got a soft spot for her. I can tell.
It's the only gym near me, really. Yeah. It's walking distance.
I'm an expert on relationships and women having babies, trust me, and I can just sense it. I can smell that there. Matt and Brad, fantastic, absolute pleasure. Now, we're doing something later on. I'm going to warn you, if I've already interviewed you up here, I'm going to be interviewing you over there, and I'm going to be asking you to come up, formulate your nickname. So I'm going to help you all out, just in case some of you make a mistake. I'm going to ask you two things, and the two things are going to be joined together, and that's going to be your boxing nickname. We're not going to tell you what the two things are, but I'm not going to give you seconds to come up with really sexy, crazy type things, all right? I need some honesty from all of you. And I think from what we've heard here today, we've got plenty of honesty. Carl, Jake, Matt, Ryan, Kieran and Brad, let's hear it for them. November 17th.